Hey guys, it's Coach Bob and welcome back. I want to invite you to participate in this nutrition talk. We're going to be sharing some good information about why diets fail. And I'll say that it's probably not what you think. So stay tuned. We're going to go through this subject and hopefully we all learn a little bit about why diets fail. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today as we talk about nutrition. And, my name is Bob Gillingham. I'm the owner at CrossFit Glen Burnie and Maryland Strong Fitness and Nutrition. And we've got some information that we want to share. Today, we are going to share with you 3 reasons why diets fail and hopefully provide some tips that to help us to change that narrative a little bit and to help start making some results that last. So the number one reason why diets fail is that they really are just too restrictive. Okay, right off the bat, we start these diets and they're just right from the start too restrictive. Yeah, I was looking for some data on this, and there seems to be some information that's saying that the weight loss market is now worth $71 billion as of 2021. I don't really know if this is true because I heard the same statistic is being applied to 2020. But let's face it, there's billions of dollars that are out there trying to help people to lose weight. And, this industry is targeting our emotions, our insecurities, our get it done fast, microwave society tendencies. We want to look a certain way right now. And because of this, they're able to market things like a low carb, low fat, no sugar. In other words, no fun diet trends that are promising that we can all lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And we've all seen those claims, right? In the magazines and everywhere. It's really just a marketing blitz for sure. And I think we kind of know that these things don't really work and don't really last, but yet that doesn't really stop many of us from trying them out because, maybe this is the one that will work. So there's so much information out there that, people are going to get confused and they're going to try these more drastic and restrictive diets that ultimately lead to losing weight fast, but regaining it all back. And we know this is true. It happens again and again. We gain it all back and we end up binging on the foods that were restricted in the first place. And so this really isn't making things better. This is a very common cycle and largely the reason why these diets just will not work for the long-term sustainable habits that lead to a happier and a healthier and a more balanced life. So we're going to be looking for some tips that could really help us to, and those are some hints as to what is going to actually work for us. So there's been many studies on diets, and for the vast majority of us, they've found that we're really setting ourselves up for failure. There's a study from the National Institutes of Health regarding restricting sugar from our diet, and it states that many people try to lose weight by periodically forbidding themselves from eating certain foods, but depriving yourself of tasty food can backfire. I don't think they're trying to get us to eat tasty food necessarily, but it basically can activate the brain's stress system, causing anxiety and withdrawal symptoms and leading us to really overeat the forbidden food whenever we get that chance. So in other words, the well-known restrict binge cycle just eats our lunch, right? So at the end of the day, the more restrictive diets are not working on building, and this is really the key, healthy and sustainable habits. We really have to start there, and we have to make that the foundation for building a good, healthy nutrition basis, that foundation that we can build on something that is healthy and sustainable. So these are, they're really just causing, the diets, they're really just causing stress and anxiety until you break. and which I don't think that's their intention necessarily, but it just leads to binging. And that's why 80% of those people who lose weight will gain it right back. And an easy solution is to first choose whole food options with a good protein, some healthy fat, a little bit of carbs, and some veggies. So really, it's kind of like, oh, you mean I just eat a balanced meal? That's what it is. I don't need to be doing a diet that's going to restrict this or that. And it really kind of comes down to that. As long as we're also looking at building healthy and sustainable habits along the way. Let's talk a little bit more about that. So let's look at treats, for example, right? So everybody enjoys having a little snack or a treat. And so I encourage all of us to really try to find a more mindful balance with treats. Rather than going all week refraining from any little treat that's going to lead to a Sunday fun day where everything that we end up, is over consuming those things we weren't trying to eat during the week, and we just get sick, really. So we want to find a mindset where we can have those treats throughout our week, but be mindful about the portion size. Not only will this help us to stay away from feeling anxiety and binging, but it will also help us to create a more positive relationship with our body and with the food. So we want to listen to our body. We want to listen to those hunger cues and fullness cues. And, this is where, having somebody that can help coach us through that can also be very helpful. So for example, having a nutrition coach is really a great way to help find that balance. If, depending on where we're at with those, the snacks or eating and whatnot, how are we going to develop those healthy habits that are going to help to keep us on track? Reason number 2, reason why these diets fail is inconsistency. So, hey, I know, virtual environment here. Raise your hand if you heard about the 80-20 rule. Okay, so here's how it goes. Most of us have heard of it, but a majority of us actively practice it. And so if you haven't heard it, imagine being perfect with your diet Monday through Friday afternoon. And then on the weekend, you decide to unleash the hungry caterpillar. Pizza, beer, ice cream, you get the idea. Bottle of wine, whatever it is. That's going to be about 20% of your diet. So as long as you're good with the 80% in the beginning, that 20% shouldn't be a problem. Unfortunately, even though this rule is so appealing because it allows us to remain inconsistent with our habits, this is the second reason why these diets fail. We remember what we're trying to do is to build these healthy, sustainable habits. And if we're healthy and sustainable sometimes, but then inconsistent and then not healthy and sustainable other times, then it really makes it difficult for the body to develop those healthy habits that you can sustain. So there was a study published back in 2017 on PubMed, and it suggests that while there is still much debate regarding the optimal weight loss diet, evidence suggests that adherence to a diet, regardless of the type of diet, is an important factor to finding success. In other words, reason number 1, highly restrictive diets, is leading to reason number 2, inconsistency. Look, we need to find something that we can be sustainable with, that we can practice, that we can continue to do repeatedly so that we can move forward. Something that, you don't want to do a 30-day diet that, what are you going to do on day 31 and day 60 and day 100? We need to find something that is going to stick. And if it's too restrictive, it's just not going to stick. It's not sustainable. So there's also a study from Danziger and others, and it reports a strong association between self-reported adherence on a scale of 1 to 10 and weight loss after following 4 different diets. And so similarly, the A to Z weight loss study found that dietary adherence scores were significantly correlated with weight loss at 12 months when looking at the 3 different diets. This is amazing. So again, what this is saying is that if you have a diet that you're able to adhere to, then you're going to have much better success than a diet that is restrictive, that it's really too hard. And I get it, I adhere to it maybe 8 times out of 10 or something like that. Or, well, I kind of do, but then I fall off the wagon and I'm just all this whole guilt cycle for the week. And then I might as well not do anything now. So adherence to the diet being, something that I can continue and sustain with is going to be much better in the long run. So in other words, adherence is strongly associated with weight loss, consistency, right? Success over the short and long term. And so knowing this, the solution to this problem becomes clear. We should be finding the right balance. The path for us is going to be to stick with the path that we can stick with no matter what the situation that we're in. So we want to start only one thing at a time and make sure that's set and slowly add the next habit until we've created a plan that you can stick to long term. And this incorporates that whole foods approach with a mindful balance of treats and something that we can continue to grow and to build on our successes. Wouldn't it be a lot better to be able to look back on the past 11 or 12 months and see how we have built on our successes versus just getting off on different diets all year long and cycling up and down? So reason number 3 why these diets fail is really, these diets, you're given a diet, you're given a list or something like that, and you're pretty much doing it on your own. So wanting to lose weight or to change your body in any way, along with starting a new fitness routine and a different eating pattern, is very emotional and intimate. Oftentimes, this leads us to starting our journey without ever sharing with our friends or family due to this might not work. I don't want to admit failure down the road. So I'm just going to kind of keep it to myself. And this leads us to reason number 3, why diets fail. We try to do it all alone. And while we're on this journey, and while this journey can and should be simple, it's not easy. And our emotions, stress levels, energy levels, relationships, and so much more all directly relate to our consumption. I mean, have you ever felt so stressed that you started to crave comfort foods? Yeah. Hey, that's normal. Absolutely. And knowing those ups and downs and being able to have help with that is a big key to success. So when things feel hard, it's easy to start negative self-talk, which leads us into throwing in the towel. We can't always have that little voice in the back of our head keep telling us to keep it up. This is why you should share your journey with your inner circle and find someone who will be there for you in a judgment-free zone to remind you of those bright spots no matter what. So this is the solution to the third reason why diets fail. Do not do this alone. One study found that those who enrolled in a weight loss program with friends did a better job of keeping the weight off. In addition to teaming up with friends, these participants were given social support in addition to the standard treatment they would have received. And 2/3 of those with the support kept the weight off 6 months after, while only 25% of those without the support found the same success. So tell your friends, tell your family what your goals are, and more importantly, why they are important to you. Further, having a nutrition coach there to support you and to keep you accountable has shown not only to help start the journey, but to stay strong for that long-term success. So, As we can see, the restrictive diets marketed to the public, the inconsistencies these cause, and the lack of support, for the most part, are the reasons why your diets have been failing you. And this time, I want you to feel empowered to change that narrative and to find the results you've been looking for. Get yourself a nutrition coach, tell your inner circle for support, and find balance and a sustainable plan that you can stick to. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me today on today's Nutrition Talk, discussing the top 3 reasons why your diets fail, and to let you know that we're here to help individuals to find health and fitness for life. And we would love to help with any questions that you may have. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take care and have a great day. Bye now.